back. Well, the adventure across the Gaspésie continues. Now we're starting our adventure at Port Danielle Wildlife Preserve. So this is an area, it's beautiful. Salmon River runs through it, the River Danielle, I believe it's called. And so we're gonna be just poking around. This part of the journey is gonna be a little bit faster. A few more places for you guys to see, which will be exciting. Royce has been a really good little camper. We can now set up the campsite in about 20 minutes flat by organizing the vehicle kind of properly. So the river is actually down there, and we'll go have a look at it in a little bit. As you can see, the part of the campground we're in right now is pretty desolate. We're now into September, so this is flank season. It's still nice and warm out. As you can see, I'm wearing my t-shirt. It'll be cool at night. We're going to be facing some challenging nights in the next maybe 2 nights from now. We'll be going down to about 2 degrees. So now tonight go down to about 9, so that shouldn't be too bad, and I've packed for it, so that's the good news. This is literally minutes from our campsite, not even like 1 minute. Kingfisher flying overhead. This is the Salmon River. Beautiful clear water, all these big rocks you guys are familiar with from the previous videos on this region. Yeah, I'm thinking I gotta come back and do some salmon fishing at some point. I did check in with them at the desk there about salmon fishing. It's still open here in this region, but because because it is a special salmon river, because I'm out of province, it ends up costing me, I don't know, like an extra $50, might be 100. And that you can only have 2 catches of salmon and release them per day. So yeah, I decided, because I'm here for a very short period of time in this area, that I won't do that. I might try my hand at some striped bass fishing. We'll see about that. But I have a little bit of time. I might run down to the local dock and try my hand at it. So there are some areas to hike in this park. Right now, moose season opens tomorrow, so good luck to all the moose hunters in this area. But it means that we can't go on the trails because it's a bit dangerous, obviously. I don't have any of my orange on, and you're forbidden to do that unless you actually are a moose hunter right now. So I'm just going to poke around this riverbed and see what I can find. Again, lots of very interesting rocks. Seem to have rocks made up of multiple different things. All smooth. I'd love to find some salmon bones around. That would be pretty cool. Just be the chef's kiss to this trip to see something like that, or more wildlife. I'm actually surprised I didn't see more large wildlife on this trip, like moose and stuff. I saw 1 deer in all this, like hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of driving. 1 deer in a field. Be nice to hear a moose bellowing. It'll be elk season soon in Ontario, so I'm going to be doing some camping coming up later in September here, and I'm hoping that, like last year, I hope I hear an elk bugling in the distance. That would be really magical. Look at that beautiful clear water. Just amazing. Just carves through the landscape. Little chute up there. I get over it. I never really anticipated that Quebec would look like this. I don't know why I didn't, but it's really been amazing. The coast, the interior, it's always something new to see, and even like on a day-to-day basis. The other day I was driving into Gaspé again just for something to do, and the mountains were covered in like misty clouds and stuff, so very different views than even the day before. So you never get kind of tired of that stuff, everything changes. Heading into fall now, kind of in the sprucey cedar area, so not a lot of deciduous trees, but certainly on the way back we'll probably be seeing a lot of color changes maybe into New Brunswick, especially with it getting frosty and stuff. The colors are going to go really quickly. All right, tell me this is not a fossil. Take a look at that. So tomorrow we're going to be going to a really special place, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which has the largest collection of Devonian fish. But take a look at that. I found this. Let's make it wet and see what it is. Oh yeah, that's got to be something. That's really neat. I don't know, like maybe some kind of like coral or something. If you know what that is, please let me know down in the comments. All right, so 8 days on the road. We're making gnocchi tonight. Does not look delicious. Yeah, all the effort I put into kind of food planning and prepping and dehydrating food has really paid off. Things we sort of bought are maybe local fare, want to try some cheese or some fresh seafood, or just like fresh eggs or something for breakfast. I don't want to keep, eggs super duper long and we go through enough of them. So that's basically what we've bought so far. And then spruce beer, because that was, again, local fare, very tasty. Well, good morning. Just on a little stop here, getting ready to head out to look for fossils. And I'm at the Port Danielle dock, and so I'm trying my hand at a little fishing for striped bass. I don't know if I'm here at the right time. The tip is to fish for them at falling tide, so we're kind of at the bottom of that. Cool morning this morning, lots of wind, but sunny today, which is great. We're on our way to Sugarloaf Park in New Brunswick, but we will make a stop to go look for fossils. So I'll tell you guys all about that in a little bit. But let's see if I can catch anything. The beach is pretty interesting. You can see, because the tide's low, that some of the really neat aquatic plants are out, and the little snails, and of course lots of shells along here. Wharf's right along the highway, so it's a bit loud. It's just beautiful out here. We're gonna be headed back into the Appalachian Mountains again today to check out Sugarloaf. And because the tides go up and down here, you can see this dock is on these little posts here that go up and down, like little levers there, so the boats stay in the water. High point in tide today, I think, is around 2-3 o'clock. So right now we're kind of at the lowest point. And it's about 9 in the morning-ish. Well, no dice down here to get striped bass. I probably should have had some live bait, but oh well, what can you do? So let's head somewhere where I know you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to head to the National Park Miguasha. They have one of the largest collections of fish there, fossilized fish from the Devonian period. So let's go check it out. Here is the largest Devonian collection of fish. Isn't this cool? All right, so I have a pass with my little sticker here to check out this trail. It's 3.3 kilometers. We're going to see fish fossils that are about 380 million years old, which is pretty wild. It's a gorgeous day, a little windy, got my sweater on, but it's gonna be awesome. And then after, we'll take you guys inside. They have a lovely museum exhibit. And on the trail, there's a lot of this mountain ash or rowan berries, just big droops of them this year. A lot of birds love them. Humans can eat them too. Usually people would cook them down, and they're very high in vitamin C. So this is the start of the little trail here, the Evolution of Life Trail. I'll have you guys read that. You can pause that. It's a 3.3 kilometer loop through the woods, and we'll end up kind of looking at a cliff and the beach with great views of the estuary. So here we are, here's where it all began. And the fish we're going to be seeing is from the Devonian. So here's a little bit about the Devonian, some of the fish that we're going to be seeing. This is the time they're from. So now we're down on the beach, and I think we're going to head over and look at some fossils right now. That was a nice trail through the forest there. As you can see behind me, there's some big cliffs where a lot of the fossils have come from. This area used to be owned by a couple of families, and they made tremendous contributions to fossil finding in the area, and finding a little more information about what's been here. See all these rocks down here, flat little pieces. Lots of erosion around this area from the waves and the wind. Well, now we're going to head inside and look at some of the fossils they found right from those cliffs. Wow, this is really cool. This is fossils of 2 species of primitive trees that were here. That almost looks like cedar-like to me. That's really cool. These were fossils found just here at this location. It's a fish. It's amazing. See the little fins. Here's a vertebral column. Isn't that cool? This is a common fish in the region at the time. This is an example of bark. One of the first forests. This has got to be a fave of mine. Look at this. It's like a fern. Look at how well preserved that is, how carefully they had to explore that rock to find that. Here's another fish. If you look at that there, that looks like, you know, the tail of the fish. And doesn't that look like that rock that I showed you guys that I thought was a fossil in that salmon river? See the little tiny sections like that? I'm totally convinced I had a fish fossil there. That's cool. So this is actually fossilized fish poop. Who knew? Take a look at these fish bones. Here is fossilized current. This fossil is of a fish that ate something else, and so you can see in its stomach here is the contents of what it ate. A tiny crustacean. This is the other part of the rock here. So hard to see with the glare, but that's pretty cool. And there is a massive fish skull. This is the Pleward family who had a homestead out here and worked on those cliffs. Those are the cliffs where we were, and you can see back in the day them working with a jackhammer to chisel away at the cliffs to get the fossils. Yeah, this is what I think I was seeing in that rock that I picked up was fin rays. It's really hyper-segmented fin rays. This is interesting. This is how they kind of explore the fossils with different tools. They even explore them with tiny porcupine quills. Isn't that cool? So for example, in this demo, they show this rock right here and how they steadily work away at it, gradually moving the stone, and that's sort of kind of a finished product.
Se débattent parce que au début ils ont dit là tous les doigts whatever parce que non mais c'est comme c'est niaiseux là parce que c'est pour ça.
Well, we've arrived at Sugarloaf Park. This is Site 72. Nobody is here in this park. Like, the sites are all vacant. This is the bonus of camping in the flank season. No bugs and no one's around. This backs onto this beautiful forest. As you drove in, you saw Sugarloaf Mountain, that big lump of a mountain just randomly sitting above the city called Campbellton. So this is really neat. Lots of hiking here. This is apparently a mountain biking park. So if you're interested in mountain biking, you can rent bikes. They'll take you up to the top and you can go downhill. There's easy to difficult terrain to kind of little paths they've made. I think they do skiing here as well. So this is really an awesome park for the outdoor adventurer. Well, the park here is certainly beautiful. Beautiful woodlands here. All kinds of trees. Very quiet right now. As you can see, it's just all the campsites in the tenting end are just sort of nestled in amongst the trees. We do have full serve sites here. Water and power and stuff. There's a shower station and everything. So it's quite civilized. But very, very natural and right close to the city too, if you're into that. This is just a place for us to stay for the night. We're kind of on the quick haul back home now, so every day is going to be a new place. Oh, this is great. I'm super pumped about this park. Tomorrow we will go on a hike, just explore the area before we have to check out. Well, in camping about 10 days and fresh French toast for breakfast with a bit of Nutella and some dehydrated fruit that I had. So it's a gorgeous day. Might go for a little hike, a little mountain bike, who knows. Well, here is a beautiful Sugarloaf Mountain itself. And there's a few trails around here. I just want to show you this one here. The Terry Fox Trail. It goes all the way around the base of Sugarloaf and you can go up to the top. I'm going to be doing a bit more of an interior hike because there's some rapids and things like that, things I like to see. Top of Sugarloaf Mountain, you can see the local town of Campbellton and sort of all the way around this area. It's a beautiful view. So Terry Fox, who's Terry Fox? Terry Fox is a Canadian hero. 18 years old, he had bone cancer, lost a limb due to that. And back in I believe it was the very early 80s, like 1980, he ran all the way from the Atlantic Ocean to just past Thunder Bay. His goal was to get out to where he's from, I think Port Coquitlam, BC. But unfortunately, cancer had returned into his lungs. But I think he ended up raising through his run about basically $1 per Canadian, at the time. So that's pretty amazing. Don't quote me on that, but he raised a lot of money for cancer research with his run. And to this day, this time of year, a lot of Canadians participate in an annual Terry Fox run to raise money for all cancers. So feel free to donate this year to that cause. So the trails crisscross through this park. It's a great mountain biking park, like I had mentioned earlier. You can take a chairlift up to the top with your mountain bike and you can race right down. They sell all the gear here at really reasonable prices. You can get some pretty fancy schmancy bikes as well. For the rides today, I'm not up for that. I'm just gonna go on a nice little hike here, see what we can find. Got the dog with me. Nice little waterfall back there, little rapids. Nice clear water here too in New Brunswick. Yeah, last night slept really well. Very, very quiet park. Not a whole lot of people here, to be honest. A few people in trailers. Basically, that's the only tent site occupied. I think it went down to about 5 degrees last night again, but in my sleeping bag with my wool blanket, I was nice and toasty warm. So it's going up to about 24 today. So really couldn't have asked for a better trip. I mean, literally, rain we've had has been overnight and pretty minimal. Oh, take a look at what I found. Some fresh chanterelles. How cool. Nice late flush of them. Delicious. It's a cute little birdhouse along the trail. There's a bunch for the chickadees around here. Looks like people feed them. We've only run into a few people on the trail this morning, so another advantage of flank season camping. No bugs, it's cool, not a whole lot of people. So you can really take your time and explore and not feel like pushed with a whole lot of people walking behind you or something like that. So this park is gorgeous. I wish I could spend so much more time here. The next place we're off to is Grand Falls, New Brunswick. So we're going to be camping along the shores of a giant gorge that runs through town. I think we have a gorge view site, which is great. So that'll be our next adventure. It's about 2 hours and change from here. So I'm really looking forward to that. Well, we've made it to the campsite. We made it to the gorge. It's a little city park that allows camping. Behind me, you can see the beautiful gorge. Looking forward to checking it out. There is a little trail down there, so I think we'll go explore that at some point. So this park is pretty cool. It's like a city park, but you can camp here. And it's got a really nice trail with amazing gorge views. Later, you know, on the way in town and seeing the money shot, we've been told, is actually across this gorge. So beautifully maintained little park. Only thing is, it's not like super private camping, like the people like wandering through the city go by your campsite all the time and say hi. But oh, look at this. This is gonna be good. Cool. Look at all through here. It's like this little river down in this gorge. See, there's like swimming here too, but I don't know exactly where you do that. There's a pathway down there to do that. This is cool. There's a lot of logging in this area, and apparently this was like a logging river. So log drivers would kind of go along here with all the logs. Pretty beautiful views. Yeah, that's the thing. Agriculture and logging are big things around here. Tourism for sure. Not so much the fishing, I don't think, in this area. Other parts of New Brunswick, absolutely. Especially on the ocean front. Here by Fundy, where I went that one time. I did lots of videos when I was in New Brunswick and Fundy. I did 3 of them or something. Several years ago now. It's been a while since I've gone on a road trip. So yeah, go back and check out those videos. Now this is interesting. As you can see here, there is a siren set up and a flashing light. Apparently the water levels can change really fast, and so they'll notify you of that. So I wonder if it's one of those kind of areas where they do, I think they have like a dam, like a hydroelectric dam just in town there. We drove through it, so I think they can fluctuate the water up and down. So yeah, that would kind of be really bad if you were like swimming or exploring down there and then the water came up suddenly. So it's kind of good they have those safety measures in place. No. Well, that's a shame. Went to go on the hike here this morning to get to the steps down to the gorge, and they are closed. It's like an info center that opens up and allows you down there, and dogs aren't allowed, so that's a bummer. So we're gonna go across the bridge. There is another beautiful view of the gorge and the falls, so we'll go take a look at that. Well, here's the view from the visitor center. Lots of water going through there. That's the dam. You can imagine how much water would gush through here if that wasn't regulating the water. So beautiful. So weird. It's just in the middle of the city. As we're driving, you'll see all along the road there is fence, and that is to protect drivers and moose from crossing on the road, so that we don't end up in a big accident with them. Here we are. We're at Park Yamaska. It's a provincial park in the area. This is the end of the road for us. This will definitely be the last place we take a look at on our journey before heading back home. It's been quite the journey. Over 2,000 kilometers traveled, exploring the Gaspésie. It's been awesome. Take a look at this campsite. So as you come in here, it's like actually a little tiny road into here. This is our campsite. It's got 2 services. Fire pit. We've got hydro and water here. Didn't plan it that way, but that's how it is. It's one of the only like 3 campsites left for today. Just staying again one night before heading home. But take a look at the view. Beautiful, beautiful forests. Kind of like we've seen this whole trip. So that's what we back onto here. So that's lovely. There are some trails here to explore. So that's pretty exciting. And a beautiful reservoir that this park is located on. Take a look at the stickers we've accumulated on our trip. That's the park we're at right now, Yamaska, Borilon, Tamasquata. We are missing the Reserve Funnique Port Danielle. They didn't have a sticker. Hearsay, I like that one, that's my favorite. Sugarloaf. The other one we're missing is Park Gentilly, one of the first ones we went to. So that's okay. We debated on going back to Gentilly, but unfortunately they make you buy 2 nights whenever you stay there. I don't know why. So we decided, you know, let's do something different. I'm going to go to this park, Yamaska. So I'm pretty excited to check it out. So there are a couple of trails that allow dogs. This one is La Forestière, and then La Rivière is another one. I think this one's like 4 kilometers or something. I'm just taking them for a quick little break. But this is the layout of the park right here. On this big reservoir. Lots of places to go and camp, I'm guessing. But we are in the main campground over here. So I think there's like a dog beach and everything here too, so that's pretty cool. So I've been kind of complaining that I haven't seen a whole lot of wildlife on this trip so far. And like literally like 2 deer and a couple of house cats and a dog walking down the street randomly. But as we came into the park here, a deer actually like kind of walked in front of our car. I'm like, finally some wildlife. I was hoping to see like moose and stuff like that, but no dice. Or even bears. Closest thing to a bear is my dog. So anyway, I don't know. Probably should have got up at the crack of dawn and kind of tootled around some of these reserve phonics. But you know, when you're tired and you're driving like constantly, like we have over the last 2 weeks, it's a little hard to get up and do that. So anyway, hopefully we see some wildlife here. I'm not looking forward to. Somebody says the raccoons here are a little precocious and like to come in the tents and, you know, say hello and stuff. But well, they're gonna have a dog to meet, so I don't think they're gonna do that. But anyways, just keep your food out of your tent, kind of thing. That should solve the problem. Woods are very nice around here, by the way, and very nice, quiet campground. Very quiet. Really can't complain about any of the campgrounds, including the last one we were at, the Grand Falls there in New Brunswick. You know, it's small enough, not that private, but the view is amazing. So I can't really complain at all about any of the campsites we've been to. They've been great. Look at these little wee mushrooms. This is a great fall for mushrooms, I've said in my previous videos. And those are cool. I've never seen those before. Stopped dead in my tracks. Here's some ash boletes. Look at that. You can see the little matrix under there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, these are ash boletes. There must be some ash around here. So you can see there's some deciduous trees up in here. Just gotta look around and ye shall find. And yes, I can see some ash leaves kind of up in there. So we are in a beautiful deciduous forest. Oh, cool. These are reishi mushrooms. Oh my god, there's a fresh one. Oh, these are older. Obviously, these are medicinal mushrooms. This must be off of a hemlock. That is so cool. Wow. Well, I'm liking this place already. I'm finding all kinds of mushrooms in here. This is so exciting. I'm hoping this fall I'll get some great flushes of my shiitake mushrooms at the cabin. Well, this is not what we should be seeing. So this is chicken of the woods. It looks like someone has hacked into this in this provincial park. So that's chicken of the woods. It's chicken of the woods. And look, they've discarded it. Let's see. But this is a wild edible. It's called chicken of the woods for a reason. It's very tasty when cooked, obviously, but it's too bad someone's really hacked out of this. Not what I like to see. Yeah, it does not look like responsible foraging in my view. We chop it all off and like scatter it everywhere. Like, especially it's kind of a provincial park, you know. I say not to pick in this area, so we shouldn't be doing that. Leaving a mess like that. But anyway, it'll decompose and go back to the earth, I suppose. But should probably just leave that alone. So as I was standing here looking at that chicken of the woods, earlier the wildlife were just like making all these kind of noises in the trees and stuff. A barred owl just called, so that's why it's sitting over there just ahead of me in the tree top somewhere. But this place is cool. Like, did you hear that? Probably can't hear it. It just called again. Wow, this park is really neat. I love it. Well, back on the trail again. It is the following morning, and I had a beautiful sleep last night. Super warm, actually. It was like 13 degrees by camper standards. Is not too bad. Celsius, that is. So just exploring the forest trail this morning, taking a look around, and we'll probably go and look at the water a little bit too. It's on a huge reservoir, so we'll go look at that. Owls last night. So many barred owls calling back and forth and back and forth. That was really nice to hear. This campsite, again, it's in the region of a Trans-Canada highway, so you can hear the cars. They settle down overnight, and it is in the pathway, I think, of Montreal Trudeau Airport, so you can hear sort of planes and stuff. But this is a little gem here, just out here. It's really, really nice. Park Yamaska. I really like it so far. There's a beautiful little open area, breezy. It's perfect for hiking this time of year. It's probably like 14 degrees out right now, 15 degrees. So at the edge of the property here of the park, you can see that maple syrup lines, or maple sap lines, whatever, So someone on this property here taps the maple and weaves it through the woods. I really should set up something like this. Although I'll have so much sap, I have no idea what to do with. So that's pretty neat. See how they tie off the end of the line here, the loop. I'll have to research this. Of course, I don't do that. I go into buckets, so it'll be interesting to see how this is done this way. Let's check out this big tree here. You might think, oh, that's a big chicken in the woods, but if you look up close, this fungus has teeth on it. It's a northern tooth fungus. Very cool. Very soft. But it could fool you from afar, like that, see? You might see these in sort of moist, fertile woodlands. These are jack-in-the-pulpit seeds. So big 3 leaves right here, and the jack-in-the-pulpit is basically this beautiful flower that kind of comes up with a little stem in the middle. Beautiful in the spring and summer. So these are the seed pods. Here's our first little view of the reservoir. It's actually quite large. I've been walking for quite a while. There's one big trail that goes all the way around the park too. Right now I'm just on the forest trail, forestière. So that's pretty cool. Just goes along this nice lake. Hopefully we'll find the beach soon and go check it out. And these are the backcountry hike-in sites sort of in there. Not backcountry, but you know what I mean, they hike in. So it's pretty neat. No dogs allowed in there though, but you do get a nice lake view. Here at the reservoir, I don't like the look of that. This looks like blue-green algae. I don't know my algae that well, but blue-green algae can be highly toxic. Just a mouthful of water. Some varieties can be, so not put the dog in this area. It's kind of too dangerous. Here is the beautiful reservoir. There's like lots of boats down here. You can do your volleyball and your beach time. What a nice park. I really like my visit here. Well, thanks so much for following me on the journey around the Gaspésie. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask them down below in the comments, and we'll see you on the road in the next adventure. Bye for now.